Yo, what's up, everybody? SNA fans. Happy Halloween to everybody. This is your host, Super Ninja Austin. And as you can see, I'm dressed up as the second longest reigning AEW World Champion. And this is my surprise costume that I got. Dressed as Kenny Omega. Yo. But anyways, we're going to start off with this is the latest episode of the SNA podcast, episode 98, which is we're going to be talking about the special edition of NXT. This is the Halloween Havic Night 2. This is our NXT review part 12. We're going to begin. Let's begin. We got the second huge performance by New Year's Day. That's what the rock band's called on the beginning of the show. The open and present the Night 2's Halloween Havoc event, which we're going to be talking about the first match of the night, which was, let's see. And before we talk about the matches, I'm going to say, I want to tell you the recap of night 1, which that's what NXT. Yeah, if you don't mind, I have a burrito from Chipotle, which they're doing some Halloween specials. If you have a costume, it's $6 there. But anyways, let's talk about. Oh yeah, it was Los Lotharios against the Creed brothers because it was a tables, ladders, and scares match. Yeah, my boots are big. I need to show you guys. As soon as I get done with or maybe I should take these things off. Yeah. See, there's one boot. It's better to just do it this way. And the other. Got these from Walmart for $80. Don't ask how I got them. But anyways, we're going to talk about the review of Los Lotharios in this tag team match, which is the tables, ladders, and scares tag team stipulation. But they slammed them to both Angel and Humberto into the ring. Julius Creed tried to pin Angel, but he only got a 2 count. Where they took it on the outside and then excuse me. But anyways, he hit the Brutus Creed hit the Death Valley Drop onto Angel Garza, right onto his his cousin Humberto Carrillo, right through the table, and that's how it brought back in. And then I think they had a suplex, and that's when Julius Creed did the pinfall. And then let's see. But the Creed brothers, not Creed, but also Dark came back, brought down the Creed brothers, where Humberto Carrillo stomping onto, I believe was Julius Creed. Oh, no, it was Brutus Creed. No, it was Brutus Creed. Humberto Carrillo, what's his name? Angel Garza dragged in, dragged out Julius Creed. And it was like a 2-on-1 disadvantage with Brutus and Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. That's when they start wedging out ladders onto the chairs, with the chairs diagonal across from each other. That's when the fans started repeatedly chanting for the Creeds because they are very hot and they're very over in WWE. And they just had their debut match yesterday on the last night's edition of Monday Night Raw. Make sure y'all check that out, along with the SNA podcast. And this is where the Creed brothers, when they try to win on the outside, this is where the Creed brothers hits them with this with the sideways ladder, face first, landed onto the stepping parts of the ladder. With both Julius and Brutus Creed hitting them face first with it, and then they land another, and they put it right on top of them and hit them with another ladder right on top of it, like, and slamming them, getting hit with two ladders at one. This is where the Creed brothers grab Humberto Carrillo. This is where they took the chair. I mean, the tables there. The table pieces, half pieces that they hit them right through it. That's where they try to attempt to slam them right through a table for the second time. But you know how the statistic goes. Once you successfully hit your move the first time, there's like nine times out of 10 is not going to be a guaranteed. So that's like the Creeds better be lucky if they successfully execute for the second time. Like this time with two tables, right between, right next to each other. But yeah, this is where the statistic came true, because this is where Angel Garza Irish whips Brutus Creed face first right into Rita the ring post in the bottom left corner. This is where Julius Creed tried to go for the suplex right onto Humberto Carrillo on the outside. Even though they will do a suplex, are you still not going to successfully execute when you're trying to do a table spot? Because usually, like, even for table spots, once you successfully execute a move right through it, it's gonna turn out that it's not gonna be a successful guarantee. And this is where Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo started double teaming Julius Creed. Did a double hip toss to him right through these double wedged ladders that were on the on these four chairs, like with two on the left, two on the right. Right, ran back in the ring, hitting it back first, which was not very beautiful, of course. This is where Booker T was like, and it's saying, "Oh wow, oh man, like, tell me about it." But Brutus Creed clothesline Humberto Carrillo in the ring, but soon after gets drop kick, single-legged drop kick right in the face. This is where Brutus Creed tried to hit a big boot, but this is where Angel Garza grabs onto his boot and leg, and on his right leg. This is where he started twisting, trying to go for a gory bomb, like right off the apron. This is where Humberto Carrillo helped did a double team, like with what's his name hitting the face buster, a swinging, twisting face buster, and Angel Garza successfully executing the gory bomb, like boom. And this is where holy SHIT or something, holy sugar honey iced tea chants were chanted. And no, they didn't say sugar honey iced tea. But anyways, but the initials of the sugar honey iced tea, they said the word, like, but they were immediately muted out, like right on time, like learning from their past of audioing, like from the past few weeks of fans chanting that when something too extreme happens. That was the case of this on this week's episode of NXT once again on that matter. But anyway, they got back in the ring. This Yeah, Julius Creed and Angel Garza was up with the steel chair. And then this is where Julius Creed told him, like, you go first. And he swings him right to the back, like, ow. Oh, my God. And then he's swinging him. Angel Garza was ready for him for the title swinging to his back. And then, Julius Creed started continuously hitting his back with the same steel chair he hit the first time. And he tried to hit him face first with the steel chair, but Angel Garza shielded himself and hits the chair right off him, making Julius Creed fall down. Brutus Creed. And then when Angel Garza tried to swing at Brutus Creed, hitting him, he gets justice from his brother and swings the chair right onto him, and the chair hits him right into the face, making him land right into the ground. This is where Humberto Carrillo was back in the ring. Hits a springboard step up enziguri, kicking the chair right into his face, looking like an enziguri version of the Van Daminator. This is where Humberto Carrillo was grabbing onto his leg, like, ow, my leg. And then this is where both men went down. Fans were chanting NXT. This is where Humberto Carrillo was trying to wedge the ladder upside down with the top part going down into the mat and then the bottom part going onto the turnbuckle. This is where Julius Creed stopped him from doing anything else. This is where let's see. This is where Humberto Carrillo managed to throw him out of the ring. This is where he hits the steel. This is where Angel Garza, his cousin Humberto Carrillo, hits him with a steel chair right onto the back. This is where he grabs onto Brutus Creed, sitting down onto the chair, hit it. And then this for his cousin Angel Garza hitting the missile dropkick onto Brutus. But when he does the move, like he tries to pin Brutus Creed, but he gets stopped by Brutus's brother. What's his name? Julius. Yeah. This is where Julius Creed went right on to Humberto Carrillo and hitting some left hands and right elbows and forearms. This is where he put him right into the top right corner of Rita the ring post. This is where he tries to go to hit him with a clothesline maneuver, but he gets instantly picked off by Angel Garza. Hits him with a power bomb and lifts him back up and hit a buckle bomb right to that wedge ladder he laid right onto him, which that was very dangerously uncomfortable, right? Especially for the guy that took the move, which is Julius Creed, and he tried to go for a pinfall, but when the referee counted one, the referee counted two, even though Brutus Creed wasn't there to help his brother out. This is where because Angel Garza was distracting him, Julius Creed kicks out of nowhere before the referee can even touch his hand on the mat. Like he got it up so fast from the 3 count attempt. Nothing was not gonna beat him at that point. Like for him kicking out right before the 3, and this is where even though if it was a 1 count, or before a 1 count, nothing was probably was a sign of nothing's gonna beat the Creed brothers tonight. But this is where Brutus Creed came in there finally and out the steel chair, hitting the top side of the part of the chair, right into the midsection, back into Angel Garza, along with what's his name, Humberto Carrillo. This is where Brutus Creed grabs onto the ladder and raises it up in the midair. This is where he took a tribute page page out of Terry Funk's playbook. We got to do obviously paying tribute. Rest in peace to Terry Funk, because he sadly passed away along with Bray Wyatt back a couple months ago. But yeah, he started doing the putting his head right between the middle of the hole of the step part of the ladder, right onto his head, and started spinning around like if he was some kind of a pinwheel or a helicopter. I was more like a helicopter, but he was spinning up in the air. Like this is where he started hitting Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo head first. Like every time they try to get back up, he still hits him. This is where Angel Garza finally ducked down and dodged the last part. Brutus Creed lifts up the ladder right off the top. He slams it right onto the side. This is where Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo try to grab another ladder, try to bring it in. But before they have a chance to put it in, this is where Brutus Creed hits a sliding diving kick right on to their faces with the ladder. And this is where Brutus Creed grabs onto that ladder like he was doing the one in the ring. And this is where he tried to put it right around his neck and his head. And this is where, before he could do anything, this is where they hit double chairs front and back with the right on the ladder, making him rattle and hit him right into the face. And then this hit him around the face and the head, like with the ladder shaking and hitting when they hit the chairs. This is where they grab the ladder right off the ground. This is where they try to basically murk Brutus Creed with the bottom part of the ladder, trying to choke out Brutus Creed right on the left ringside area into the left side of Simba the Steel Steps. Yeah, the left side of Simba the Steel Steps. And they try to basically murder him. I was like, that's not a crime. Like, again, kayfabe, of course, being fun in the funny side of things. But yeah, that was the crime encounter of the night. But this is where Julius Creed came in to save his little brother. Hits a top rope rolling senton dive off the top rope. This is where Julius Creed goes under the ring, drags out the table. This is where he pushes it back in the ring, and it looks like it was double tables to be the exact, like with him. And then this is where they're getting ready to put up the tables, like so they can slam their opponents right on it. Let's do. Yeah, this is where they got the tables up. This is where they finally got, I believe, Humberto Carrillo, because of course he's going to eat the pinfall. Once again, this is where Brutus hits the Brutus bomb right on the top rope, where brother Julius Creed got them on his shoulders in the electric chair position, and then hit him. He crashed right into the table. They got the 1, 2, 3, and they got the win in their revenge as well. What you thought about this match with the Creed brothers against the Los Lotharios? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. And do you think it's like a tag team version of Kurt Angle against the tag team version of Eddie Guerrero? Like comparison from their days in the Ruthless Aggression era. Let me know down in the comments below. And we got some vignettes. Not vignettes, backstage segment with what's their names talking about what so far of night 2's Halloween Havoc of NXT, Scarlett and Shotzi, like them dressed up as, I would say, dressed up like with Shotzi dressed up like some kind of a banshee witch, and then Scarlett's dressed up like some kind of a voodoo witch, like looking at the Luigi board, like with Aladon and Albert Fire, which I'm not sure it's necessary to recap, but as a journalist, maybe so. Like, and this is where Shotzi's like, you got this, like, you got this, all right, like, see you on Friday, which we're probably going to have a match with Albert Fire and, oh, they're not Albert Fire, no, what's their names? We do have a tag team match, so it's probably going to turn to a feud, like, with Albert Fire and Isla Dawn taking on Shotzi and Scarlett. And I would say probably some down the line, but this Friday we got Chelsea Green and our tag partner Piper Niven taking on Shotzi and a tag partner of her choosing, which I'm assuming it's Scarlett, for the simple fact that she's the co-host of this year's annual Halloween Havoc event. But yeah, I think this is gonna be a sign of a face turn from Karrion Kross's wife. This is where Albert Fine, our dog, and this is where Isla Dawn was like, Alba Fire, like, it's is Halloween night, and like we're in control into this special occasion. And then this is where Alba Fire's like, yeah, agree. Like, let's cause mischief and havoc while we're in here in the CWC. And all of Hallows Eve. And then they're like, we'll have so much fun. And that's when they did their maniacal laugh. And then this is where Tiffany Stratton was getting ready for her match against, what's her name? Fallon Henley, and then this is where what's her name, Mackenzie Mitchell came in. She wanted to have a word, and this is where Tiffany Stratton was like, "What? Like, I have my match up. Like, what do you want?" This is where Mackenzie Mitchell. I need your reaction to Fallon Henley did last week when she started. She was like I just want to have your reaction on how about when Fallon Henley was basically mocking you when she was dressed up as you last week on night one's Halloween Havoc, and then I gotta admit that was really good for when the way she impersonated and mocked you, like when she dressed up as you. Like, this is where Tiffany Stratton was, and then this is where she got very annoyed and irritated. She was like, that's it, I'm done. Like, that's your answer. And this is where she walked out of there to get ready for the match. And this is where what's her name did a joking this is where Mackenzie Mitchell did a jokingly tongue-tied announcement about the upcoming match up next, which was Tiffany Stratton and Fallon Henley. She said Tiffany Stratton would face off with Fallon Henley up next after these messages. But anyways, I'm not sure if this was part of the skit or not. Like, but it was very funny. The funny miss tongue-tied that what's her name just did. Mackenzie Mitchell. That's what her name is. But anyways, we're going to move on to that match. And this is where we also had a vignette with Joe Gacy saying that he made mistakes in the past, but that nobody's perfect, but still some peers, like friends and strangers, are stab me with their judgmental eyes day after day. And he was like breathing evilly and heavily. It's like, am I really the problem? And then Joe Gacy also said, no, like I'm asking for forgiveness. I know there's a darkness inside of me because of my past. Once upon a time, I was tethered to society, bonded by the people around me, and you're like, but now, no, right? Now there's no strings on me. And maybe kind of person that believes in fairy tales, but then again, maybe or not. And I was like, is this some kind of new gimmick that Joe Gacy's going to be playing from now on, or is still the schism job? But I doubt that's the case. If that was, he would be talking about everything about schisms, despite his boys, the Dyad, are no longer in WWE. That's where we have the match with Fallon Henley with Tiffany Stratton, or do we? He's happening so fast. But Fallon Henley, we do the match, but this is where she gets attacked from behind by Tiffany Stratton, hits her face first right into the ring post. And I was like, wow, like she's definitely in a bad mood. Like if I was anybody, I would not be poking fun of her about Val Henley was basically impersonating her last week, like whatsoever. But I gotta admit that was really good. Fallon Henley did a really good job cosplaying as her, dressing up as her, and imitating her the way she talks, and she's like the way she did Toodles, or hey, I'm Tiffany Stratton, and if I don't get my way, like I'm gonna call my daddy and blah blah blah. Yeah, like you know what? Even though she don't have the daddy gimmick no more, but she did basically everything like that. But yeah, before she hit her right into Rita the ring post, she found Henley got a couple of right strikes onto Tiffany Stratton until she kicked her right into the midsection, threw her right into Barry Barricade, or former Barry Barricade. That's where it hit her face first, right into Rita the ring post, which bounced off right off right onto the ring post. This is where she put her right onto the bottom left corner onto the Rita the ring post. Got her inside, got her legs tied together, and started squeezing it like if she was doing like the figure four right onto the what's it called, the Rita the ring post. Anyway, let's move on to. And it looks like the results of this match was no contest because she attacked her from behind. But anyway, attacked her from behind and brutally beat her down before she can have a chance to fight her inside the ring in a proper match. But what do you thought about this segment? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. Well, move on to the next. Move on to the next segment, which is the vignette of the metaphor at this haunted house, trying to get back Noam Dar's Heritage Cup trophy. They were dressed up as Scooby-Doo with Noam Dar dressed as Scooby himself. Lash Legends dressed as Velma. Jakara Jackson is Daphne. And Ora Menza is Shaggy. But anyway, they start hearing everything high, like with a voice out of nowhere near the haunted house saying like, "Who there goes there into my mansion?" or whatever. Ha ha ha. This is where all the metaphor guys started to start being afraid of the and this is where no one does it. As long as we stick together, right? Like as long as we have each other, we stick together. Like we will have my we'll be out of here in no time and get my as soon as I retrieve my Heritage Cup trophy. And we're gonna do it all together. And that's where before they can even go together and retrieve not the briefcase, the trophy. This is where let them all know where it is. This is where they look right behind the skeleton, and this is where they look behind the skeleton. They ran out there screaming to death, and it's definitely not the trophy. This is where everybody was like, help me, no. This is where it got to be continued until the next time they show the vignette. But next, we got let's see. We got Nathan Frazier taking on Dirty Dominic Mysterio for the NXT North American Championship. But anyway, before I talk about that, I'm gonna get my Starry soda can pop and talk about it. Oh, excuse me.
Oh no.
Excuse me. Now I track my nephew back here. Anyways, here you go, Birdie. Excuse me. Anyway, this is how the match started. Yeah, Nathan Fraser doing his headlock right onto Dirty Dominic. And so he pushed him right off the corner, the corner of the bottom part of the ring. And I better take off my earbuds. Better about the die down or die out, I should say. Luckily, I got spare. Even though these are only ones that work. The only one works, but these got to do. Nathan Fraser. This is where he Irish. Oh, excuse me. This is where he Irish whips the corner. Trey, what are you doing? Trey, that's enough. What are you doing? Stop. No. Stop marking that. If you wanted paper, you should have asked. Oh, bother. But anyways, this is where he did a headlock slam right onto Nathan Fraser. When Nathan Fraser got back up, hit him with a couple forearms. This is where Dominic Mysterio tried to do what he did before earlier. Like I was whipped this time on the top corner of the ropes. This is where he gets this is where he slams him right onto the. This is where he slams him once again, but this is where Nathan Fraser got back up like easily. Sorry for doing this while I'm recapping this, just dying down the little hot sauce. But anyways, this is where Dominic Mysterio was starting to grapple Nathan Fraser, put him on the bottom right corner of Tina the Turnbuckle. And this is where he hits a right hand right onto Nathan Fraser's face. This is where he tried to Irish whip him right onto the top left corner of the Tina the Turnbuckle. This is where he slides up, goes right up, slides over Dominic Mysterio, hits a cartwheel backflip right in the middle of the ring. This is where he slides down from Dominic Mysterio when he tried to go for an attack, this is where he hits an arm drag, hits a body slam, and then also a missile drop kick Dominic Mysterio outside the ring. Nathan Fraser is back on his feet, spinning around, telling Dominic to say, "Come back here. I thought you were the dirtiest member of the Judgment Day." Like, Nathan Fraser was like, "No, okay, I have all day. Like, come on, like come here when you're ready." Guess what? Dominic Mysterio tried to go for a clothesline. He ducks down. This is where he got hitting. This is where he got going for a headlock. This is where he Irish whip him right to the top left corner. But this is where he hits a springboard backflip, like making him go landing right behind Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio try to tip an attack right onto him, onto the turnbuckle, where Nathan Fraser right on the Dominic Mysterio. This is where he dodged him right, and then Dominic Mysterio tried to go get him into the right side, but he moved right out of the way. Right. That's why he tried to close on. He did a belly to back maneuver thing, push him out of the way, push him Nope. Running right to the right side, and the right side of the corner. This is where Dominic Mysterio tried to go for a clothesline, but here's where Anthony Fraser ducks down right on the way, goes right to the left side. Catches him with a flying forearm out of nowhere. This is where Rhea Ripley was checking on Dominic Mysterio. We got going right on the outside and wing side. This is where let's see. But Dominic Mysterio managed to get back in the ring. This is where Nathan Frazier this is where Dominic Mysterio tried to go for the Three Amigos, but gets instantly countered by Frazier and he hits him with a suplex. This is where Nathan Frazier go right onto Dominic Mysterio. This is where Frazier is back up. We're going to try Irish whip Dominic Mysterio. This is where Dominic Mysterio twists it under his arm, hits him with a pit slap. This is where Nathan Frazier will grab onto his throat. This is where Dominic Mysterio's like, what you got there? And this is where Nathan Frazier got pissed off. He speared Dominic down, started hitting right hands right into the head of the ex-con down. This is where Nathan Frazier go running knife chop right onto Jerry down. This is where Dominic Mysterio tried to kick him in the gut, but he caught his leg right one time, but get instantly insta-gearied by the dirty Doms. This is where Nathan Frazier answered back with a trading insta-gear. This is where he goes for a springboard. Well, for the springboard moonsault, turning into a reverse DDT majig right on into the left corner of the ropes. This is where they did an awkward landing. You got to look like about to do a submission move rather than a DDT. But he brought Dom down. He tried to pivot to 1-2, but managed to kick out at 2.8 seconds into a near fall. This is where Vic Joseph compared Nathan Frazier's speed as Tyreek Hill. Like, and I was like, I agree, because look at him go. He's like a wrestler version of Tyreek Hill. He's going fast. Like, I'm barely keeping up. Recapping this video, recapping the show on this match itself. Like, even though I'm doing a late start recapping, but still, like, but it's not. But it wasn't quick as this match. Like, with Nathan Frazier going fast, like trying to beat Dominic Mysterio. This is where Nathan Frazier tried to grab on and Dominic Mysterio right into the corner apron, where he gets instantly hot shot by the North American champion. This is where the fans are chanting, "We want mommy," and fans are like, the other half like, "No, we don't. We want mommy. No, we don't." And then Nathan Frazier hits a sliding diving drop kick on Dominic Mysterio off the apron. This is where Nathan Frazier runs right into the right side. I go for a suicide dive, but he stopped himself when and Dominic Mysterio moved right out of the way with Rhea standing in the middle of it. You know, him doing a flipping cartwheel outside so he won't hit Rhea Ripley. And I was thinking, like, why are you such a gentleman, Nathan Frazier? Like, if it was the other way around, Rhea Ripley wouldn't have cared if she hit you if she was doing the suicide dive. So why do you have so much mercy for the Eradicator? But anyway, Dominic Mysterio hits a super kick right onto him right after he stops. This is where throws Frazier back in the ring. This is where Dominic Mysterio was checking on his mommy. He was like, "How you doing, my mommy? We out on the job. I'm doing okay. You Latino eat?" And this is where And this is where Nathan Frazier finally hits a suicide dive right onto Dominic Mysterio because it was a guarantee. And then this is where he picked up Dominic Mysterio. Back in the ring. Nathan Frazier tried to do it. Hit reverse 450 splash maneuver. But this is where Dominic Mysterio moves right out of the way. This is where he tried to go for a splash right right through the bottom right corner of the turnbuckle. But it's instantly countered by Dirty Dom by doing a flipping slam right onto the ropes, like flip him right up in the air and slam him back right on the ropes. It where Dominic Mysterio goes right onto that exact same top rope when Nathan Frazier tried to go for his reverse 450 splash. And tried to do a finishing move where it is the frog splash, trying to be like his father and his on-screen so-called biological father. God bless his soul, Eddie Guerrero. Yeah. That's where Nathan Frazier took a page out of Seth Rollins and interception suplex, rolled up, looked like he's about to do a Falcon Arrow, but really hits a switch to twisting neck breaker maneuver. That way he pins Dominic Mysterio, but he only got one, you only got two, and he gets out 2.9999 or so close. It made Booker T's like, whoa, like so close you got there, like. It was almost a 3 to the point that I bet it will shock everybody that wasn't really paying attention much of this match right now. I'll be like, that's not even in the wrestling. Nobody be like, wow, that guy almost got this guy. Someone that's unaware of WWE, but anyway, that's where it was 2.999999.0.1 one away from being 3. This is where I know Dirty Dominic Mysterio tried to catch the Women's World Championship from his mommy Rhea, but he missed it by an inch because it slid all the way down onto the other side of the ringside area, out the ring, into the left side of the ringside area. And Dominic Mysterio's like, oh my God, what have I done, mommy? And Rhea Ripley was like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you should have caught that. This is where Nathan Frazier hit him with the most devastating move in all sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up, but only got 2.999. That's where Dominic Mysterio, I kicked Dominic Mysterio right in the gut, but spin him around. That's where Nathan Frazier tried to go for an Insta-Giri, but Dominic quickly ducked right out of the way. This is where he kicks Frazier into the face and the front with body first, upper front body first, right onto into the left side of the ropes, getting ready to do a 619. But this is where he tried to attempt the 619 maneuver. He gets intercepted with a super kick by Frazier. This is where, like, right out of nowhere, it was so high up in the air. Like, I was like, wow. Like, that was the most amazing, the second most amazing thing I've seen on this episode of NXT. Sorry, trick or treat candy. It looked like go for the reverse 450, but I guess he was double cursed because, I don't think it was because of Halloween. But anyway, this is where Dominic Mysterio pushes Frazier off the top rope, right through Barry Barricade or former Barry. No, out of the announce table, and where Dominic Mysterio throws him right back in the ring. This is where Dominic Mysterio was right for the frog splash. He got the 1, 2, 3. Retained his NXT North American Championship of the this evening. No, but his celebration wasn't a long last because we saw a shocking return of Wesley That's right. I said Wesley. For those who haven't watched tonight's NXT, Wesley made his NXT return, which we thought he would never make his return for the fact he left a month or two ago. I guess he shocked us and had us fooled. Boy, he shockingly fooled us, I should say. Because I expect him to either get called to the main roster or his contract expired or he got released and going to go somewhere else. Maybe even return to Impact Wrestling. About to go back to TNA. But anyway. He came right from behind. Super kick Dominic Mysterio. He tried to crawl for his mommy Rhea, but he put him out of the way before he can touch Rhea's hand. Hit the double foot stomp right on his back. This is where Wesley was looking at the North American champion hanging on the ground, which knocked over. He cost Dominic Mysterio to knock it out of his own hand. This is where the Cardiac Kid picks up the NXT North American Championship and said, I'm going to take back what's mine. And I was like, I know that's right. Like, hoping this story means he's going to get his vengeance on the Dominic Mysterio. Guy, that's the reason why he lost the North American title in the first place. What do you think about that? Are you ready for a rematch with Wesley taking on Dominic Mysterio? Comment down below. This is where we got Andre Chase talking to JC Jane backstage in the backstage area, I should say, in the hallway. And JC Jane was so like, congratulations, Mr. Chase. Now you feel how it is to be a champion. Patting this brand new winning NXT Tag Team Champion. Yeah, and this is where Andre Chase like, I really thank you for that, Jason J. It was Jason James like, exactly. And now I scratch your back, now time to scratch me, and Thea's back. And then where Andre Chase like, I'm happy for being a champion, but last week, JC, you cheated. You cheated. And I don't think that was the right thing to do. Where JC Jane nearly argued back, but before she had a chance to, this is where Thea Hale was double hyped for her match. Like with teaming with her new best friend JC Jane to take on Chelsea Green and Piper Niven for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Yeah. And this is where what's his name came in. He's like, I haven't paid. Duke Hudson said I didn't pay for a meal in a week. And also when JC and Thea were. When Thea and JC walk out of this building as new women's tag team champions, like nothing's not going to stop Chase U. I was like, I really do hope so, because it could be storytelling right here, like with Thea Hale winning the tag team championships, and also when the women's tag with their man teammates. Chase and Hudson being the men's NXT Tag Team Championships. Like four of these quartets are unstoppable, and they could be in programs with the metaphor, like with Noam Dar, Ora Menza, and Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, let's cheer for Chase University. And then this is where Thea Hale and JC Jane we'll have to get ready for that match. But this is where both Andre Chase and Duke Hudson ran into the guys they beaten last week on Night One's Halloween Havoc. it was the families, Tony D'Angelo and Jenny Stacks Lorenzo. They're congratulating them. They'll be like, and then they were letting them know that they're going to get their gold back, right? But I know they're going to get their gold back, and they better hold on to those titles real tight, like for now. This is where Duke Hudson was like, "Do they have a problem?" And then this is where Andre Chase was like, "Don't worry, Duke. Like I can handle it." And this is where from behind it. This is where Albert Fire and Isla Dawn was about to cause some mischief with Isla Dawn dressed up as Harley Quinn and Albert Fire dressed as Poison Ivy from the Harley Quinn animated series franchise. I was like, I hope they won't be doing things what Harley Quinn and Ivy and Poison Ivy would do, like on this new recent Harley Quinn cartoon series. Like, let's cross our fingers that won't be the case, and that will be a storyline. Which I don't think that's going to happen because they're trying to make it more family friendly. So I doubt that. Like, regardless. And then this is where Alba Fire was thinking, brainstorming some ideas. Like, how about we do something terrible and unmerciful? That's what she said. Like, she was like, how about? And then this is where Isla Dawn's like, perhaps something cursive, or I don't say not cursive writing, but I'll say something cursing. Like, yeah, perhaps. And then this is where they start laughing in a mischievous way. This is where up next we go to this is where we got more vignettes from the metaphor into the haunted house to get back the Heritage Cup trophy that Akira Tozawa dropped off at. This is where I thought we saw some scary. This is where Jakara Jackson was in one room trying to see where she was at, but she ran into these monsters, these guys dressed up as monsters in this haunted house. Like, one of them looked like Freddy Krueger, one looks like Michael Myers, and the other one looks like one looks like that I would say that gooey Clayface guy from the Harley Quinn cartoon. And this is where she starts screaming and being frightened. This is where a person in a demon clown mask was right behind her. This is where she fainted into fright and failed. This is where Ora Menza was seeing where Jakara Jackson was at. It was like, Jakara, where are you? Like, Jakara. Like, Jakara. And this is where he turns around. And he saw this. He saw, and that's where he saw this guy in this in this pale face mask, like dressed up as some kind of a banshee clown, I suppose. I won't say not clown. I'll say a banshee ghost, I suppose, because it looked very spookily frightening. Yeah, with the black eyeliner or eyeshadow or whatever he had, and this is where he looked directly in his face when Ora Menza asked him what did he want. This is where Ora Menza was in fright and say, like, oh no, like, I gotta go. Like, no, like, get away. And he was like, I'm like as soon as I find my friends and get this Heritage Cup trophy back from Noam Dar, like, I'm out of here. Like, no, like, I gotta deal with this. That's where we saw one Grim Reaper with the alien mask on, and then this is where we had the one in the horror movie Alien. But this is where we have this is where we got somebody that's like a normal guy that looks very that does not look like a monster, was not wearing a monster mask, I should say, but he was looked very frightening with his face in general. Like, no offense to that guy, and I hope I didn't insult him, but he did look very creepy. Like, even if he wasn't wearing a Grim Reaper hoodie, But anyway, this is where what's his name? That's where Ora hits an ear of corn right into the head of that guy. This is where he fell straight down to the ground. And he was like, "Oh yeah, like that's Ora for you, like for trying to spook me out. Like you cannot even touch me." And then this is where it was like, "Hey, hey, Tozawa. Like, wait, Tozawa? Like, what you doing here?" This is where he pointed the flashlight right into the face of Akira Tozawa because he disguised himself as a Grim Reaper. He thought this is where he started screaming at to Ora Menza, saying like, "Ah!" Like, and he started hitting right hands right onto the Metaphor member. And then this is where he started beating the absolute daylights out of him, hitting him right, beating him down. Irish whipping him right into that wooden wall, and he fell right down. Good night, Birdie. Hope you have a safe and blessed night. But anyways, this is where Akira Tozawa did his call scream like hey. This is where these Grim Reaper guys dragged him out of the sight of the haunted house. This is where we slide into the other scene with Lash Legend to see where her friend's at, and then this is where she started basically imitating or should I say impersonating Velma, because she started saying, "Where the hell my glasses go?" Looking like she cannot see nowhere. Like even though I think she's okay without her glasses, but she's just playing the part. And then this is where Lash Legend was like, "Noam, I found your Heritage Cup trophy. I found it." Let's see. She's like, "Noam, like, where are you?" And this is where she tried to grab. And this is where she's like, "What the heck is moving over here?" This is where she flips out the cloth or the towel or curtain, I should say, off of this monster, which was or some kind of a suspicious monster, which it was a monster. It was like a predator, like a zombie, I should say. Like he was doing the screams like, "Ah!" And this is where Lash Legend was screaming the frightened. This is where this orange face clown, this orange face or orange mask clown try to come in and try to capture and abduct Lash Legend, but she started hitting him with some kind of a metal plate right onto his back. This is where she was crying and screaming even more until this tall pumpkin zombie guy grabs her from behind and drags her into this room like if it's some kind of a haunted house horror movie, like into this vignette of the Metaphor trying to get back his trying to get Noam Dar's Heritage Cup trophy back. And that's where it said to be continued, like to another vignette, which there is going to be a third one. You're going to have to watch until the very end to get to that point, because it was very funny and very entertaining to watch, like especially when I'm out trick-or-treating with my nephew, of course. But like with him doing his usual yearly annual trick-or-treating like every other kid's in the neighborhood. But anyway, I was watching this on my phone, and it was very fun to watch. It kind of reminded me of last year when I was out like trick-or-treating with my nephew, with my family taking him to the neighborhood, and while I was watching Monday Night Raw. It was Monday Night Raw though when I was watching at the time. But anyways, we're gonna move on to Robert Stone taking on Braun Breaker, because he tried to get some revenge for his friend and client Von Wagner, which we do have the match. The match barely lasts for long. I feel bad for this guy that's trying to look like Tony Khan. Like he did not deserve what Braun Breaker just gave to him, even though he brought in a couple of strikes onto him. This is where, because when Braun Breaker tried to run and attack him right to the top right corner of Tina the Turnbuckle, this is where this is where Robert Stone was getting ready to say, like, come on, get up. Like, you think you're a man? Like, you think you're tough, all right? Like, I like to see you put that on the test. We face me. Like, don't let just the size fool you. And this is where he started hitting striking right hands like the Braun Breaker. Like, see? Like I told you I was ready for you. And then this is where Braun Breaker's like, oh, really? Like, that was one easy cheap shot. Like, I don't see you do that again when I'm still standing here on my feet. So, and this is where he tried to chase Robert Stone out of the ring. This is where he started running out. And this is where Braun Breaker tried to clothesline Robert Stone, but he ducks. He tried to go for it again when he runs right through the right corner of the ropes. This is where he ducks again. Braun Breaker tried to close on. This is where he tried to get ready to hit a move onto Braun Breaker. Before he can hit any move, this is where he gets instantly tackled by the former NXT champion. And Braun Breaker doing this barking noise like, hoo, 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 hoo. And this is where Booker T was very happy to see this. He was like, oh, yeah. This is where Braun Breaker started trying to rip off his tank top and trying to get ready to do his maneuver onto the manager, Von Wagner. This is where he started tangling it around, twisting it like a tank top pretzel, and then toss him right on the other side of the ring corner, which is at the bottom left corner of Tina the Turnbuckle. This is where he starts shaking him around, saying, this hurt like hell. This what's his name? Robert Stone. He was like, oh my God, this hurts. Like, oh my God. This is what Braun Breaker's like, like it's supposed to be a fair fight, but it don't seem like it to me. Like, I thought he was ready for me. Like, I thought he was gonna smack that smile across my face. Like, I'm gonna send you there. And this is where he slaps the taste out of his and the smile off his face. And I think that was definitely a promise that Robert Stone kept, that he's gonna do to Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker was he was frustratingly angry after he done that. He's like, oh, you think you're gonna get away with that? And this is where Braun Breaker tried to run right towards him, right into the turnbuckle. He moved right out of the way. Smart move from Robert Stone. He hit his face first right into the top turnbuckle onto the bottom right corner, bottom left corner. He went right behind him, hit him with the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the surprise roll up. But this is where Braun Breaker kicks out of it. This is where Braun Breaker hits to try to go for a hip suplex right onto Robert Stone. This is where he ran the back first into the canvas. Robert Stone looked like he couldn't do no more for this match because he was out unconscious until Braun Breaker had to drag him right to the top left corner of Tina the Turnbuckle, like, which he was getting back up, slowly back up. Braun Breaker started taking off the suspenders off. He was like, finish him off onto the fans, which the fans were booing him when he was doing that, like, because they did not like Braun Breaker at this time. Okay, I'm going to have to get it right, but I'm not doing the podcast right now. But anyway, this is where Braun Breaker's like, finish him off, get ready to basically dog spear him right into the middle of the ring when he got back up. He pinned him. He got the 1, 2, 3. But it looked like Braun Breaker was not finished with him yet. I guess maybe my match finish prediction wasn't 100% correct, but was 100% correct of my prediction was him trying to attempt to do what happened on the match, like in the post match, like he tried to do the sandwiching onto Robert Stone's head with the steel steps. So I was like, it's about to be worse when he did to Von Wagner. Speaking of which, this is where Von Wagner came in and starting beating down Braun Breaker and getting some revenge onto the former NXT champion. And this is where he started walking. He hit him with striking rights with Braun Breaker hitting striking rights on himself respectively. Where like this is where he started going back and forth. This is where he throwing him right into the ring. This is where he closed on Braun Breaker out of the ring when he got back and got in the ring. This is where Von Wagner goes right outside. Try to get some revenge and try to hit him head first and sandwich onto the steel steps. But Braun Breaker moved out of the way before he landed on his head. He ran out there like a chicken that he was onto this brawling segment. And it looks like we're gonna have a match between the two next week on the November 7th edition of NXT. Make sure I'll check that out. And I'll be doing Part 13 review on next less than 7 nights from now. But here's where he also chokeslammed him right to the steel steps, but it was the opposite direction where it was the last time these two fought each other in a month and a half ago. But anyway, yeah. What do you think about this match? Who do you think is going to win? Which I think most of y'all would agree with me when y'all for saying my prediction is on Von Wagner in the match, so he can get some revenge and retribution onto the son and nephew of the Steiner brothers. But we get a recap of the NXT Women's Championship with Lyra Valkyria winning the NXT Women's Championship. And she was getting interviewed on today's shows and plenty of talk shows, of course. But I do plenty of talk shows about her being the new NXT Championship in WWE. And I always thought she would do a big celebration for tonight's NXT live in backstage in the Halloween party. But nope, she wasn't not even in the building. And she's not going to be there until next Tuesday on the November 7th edition of the NXT show. But anyways, we're going to move on to the next match, which is Kalani Jordan taking on also everybody was celebrating her all over social media and they show backstage Becca that you deserve it. Like you proved to me like you were ready to be champion. And she hugged Lyra. And you can even talk shows in her homeland in Ireland, when she bringing her up for being the second ever Irish female wrestler to win the NXT Women's Championship. And she's going to make her return to next Tuesday. But anyway, this is where we get the match with Lola Vice taking on Kalani Jordan. And my prediction was not all the way correct. I would say it was 99% out of the 100. Like 1% incorrect at the end. Well, you're not going to see exactly why when I recap that. But anyway, this is where we got a vignette with Reginald and his new boys, Lucius and Bronco. Like him saying he used to be a nobody, but now until he met these two guys, like they remind me of who I am and where I came from. And then Ready. He's like, yeah, but back home in St. Louis, they call me Scripps. That's what they call him. Like his luchador gimmick that he's still using. Like referencing that he used to be Reginald, and I did not know he was from St. Louis, Missouri, but that's a story for another day. Anyways, let's see, I've been locked up, shot at, like, he said, who I am, like, what I came from, and then he said, back home in St. Louis, they call me Scripps, and I've been locked up, shot at. I watched my uncle die in my bedroom, and I was 11 years old. I was like, this has to be a true story, because why would they make something like this up? Even though people like him from St. Louis do witness stuff like this happening in their life, like being shot at or being locked up, or even they saw a relative die in their very eyes. He's like Lucius and Bronco, like we got so much in common about that. Like let's go through like that. And he was like, in the Braun and Bruce, you don't know anything about our damn culture. Like we struggle. And he's like, you're just some cookie ass people that we have to really go through. Like it wouldn't last 1 week in our block. Like referencing hood people that would street people that grew up in the ghetto. Like from people that are that were properly I would say, what's that word, like referencing that, like saying like properly fancy people would not last a single day staying in their neighborhood, because they would definitely get shot for even step foot into the area. But anyways, like you would cost the OTM their opportunity for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Like, no, I think it was you who cost them the NXT Tag, because you could have easily helped them out by not getting them eliminated, like by preventing Ridge Holland and Butch from eliminating these guys. And if I was Lucius and Bronco, I would be blaming Scripps for costing them the championship by jumping on all four men. Like, you should have got make sure Lucius and Bronco are still in the ring and knock out both Ridge Holland and Butch out of the ring, like with yourself doing a crossbody onto them. But no, you just decided to do something very hasty and stupid like that. He was like, and he's like, you see, Braun Bruce, like we the ones that we're two things. Like we're be somebody, it'd be somebody or nobody. And which one are you? Because OTM, we somebodies, and they did the finger pose, and it looks like we're gonna excuse me. And it looks like we're going to see this in the foreseeable future with them with this new gimmick, like with the street hustler gimmick, like being from the hardest part of the hardest part of their hometown area, I should say. What do you think about this? Booker T was like, I like this, like they're showing that. They're showing like they're nothing to play with when it comes to this NXT tag team roster division. But anyways, I think I made a mistake. It wasn't the Breakouts tournament yet. It was none other than the Women's Tag Team Championship match with JC Jane and Thea Hale taking on Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. That's where it attacked him from behind. This is where Thea Hale was going fist to fist with Piper Niven, with JCJ, with Chelsea Green. And then attacking from behind. I mean, no, they were attacking from behind. What's it called? Thea Hale and JCJ didn't run away. They just start brawling with them in the ring. This is where Really, Jason Jane throws Chelsea Green into the ring. This is a referee's like, all right, let's start off with JC and Chelsea. Let's ring the bell. Ding, ding, ding. This is where Piper and even trying to do a power slam onto power slam or snake eyes to Thea Hale, but luckily JC Jane was there to grab onto her leg, pushing Piper Niven face first right onto Simba the Steel steps. This is where JC Jane tried to go to Chelsea Green. She hits the most devastating move in all sports entertainment, the surprise roll up. JC Jane kicks out of it, get back up, gets Irish whip. She Irish whips Chelsea Green right into her corner, which is the top left corner of Tina Turnbull. It's a sliding elbow strike right onto Chelsea Green. Like over a roundhouse kick. Here's a super kick to Chelsea Green. Tagging Thea Hale. Throwing Thea right onto Thea Hale. Hitting her back right onto Chelsea Green. Hitting her arm drag right onto Chelsea. I go for another one, but she remember like she trying to do it the first time, but when she saw this coming, she got her hands out of the way, so she slammed face first right into the canvas. Chelsea Green rolled right on her. She went right to the bottom left corner of Tina Turnbuckle. This is where Thea Hale tried to go for a spot, but it gets flipped over by Chelsea Green. This is where she tried to go for a clothesline, but Thea Hale goes for the splits for a duck, which was very impressive from the 20-year-old. This is where Thea Hale goes on the top rope. This is where she goes over a cartwheel dodge when Chelsea Green tried to attack her off the top rope. This is where she tossed Thea Hale when she was running at her, going into the ringside. Thea Hale landed on her feet. Chelsea Green was trying to go for a suicide dive or a slide and slide kick, but Thea Hale moved right out of the way, hits a lower rope suicide dive right onto Chelsea, into the WWE's residential Karen, I should say. And this is where Thea Hale was back on her feet. This is where she started getting more hyped into this match, screaming in the hype. This is where Piper Niven tried to go for a clothesline. She ducks out of the way. This is where Thea Hale go for a crossbody, which is a proven fact that it's the most comeback move in all sports entertainment. Where JC Jane saved the day because this is where because Piper Niven had her in a body drop position, right? But JC Jane came and saved the day, hit the rolling senton right off the apron, something that Dustin Rhodes would have done when he was in WWE. This is where both JC and Thea was on their feet. Let's see. This is where they got back in the ring. But Piper Niven got her into a sleeper hole, a Cobra Clutch sleeper. Right on the because Chelsea Green tagged in Piper Niven, but had her down on her legs, had Thea down on her legs, and then Piper Niven do a running senton right onto the back of Thea. But that's where Thea got into put her in the Cobra Clutch headlock. This is where Thea Hale hits the elbow, countering elbows right onto one half of the women's tag team. She gets Irish whipped by Piper. Piper tried to run and go for a splat onto Thea, but get hit head first with a boot onto Thea Hale. This is where he was trying to go for a crossbite, but it looked like she learned from the first time. Got Piper car right off the air into a body drop. Well, but she hit her with a shoulder power slam, knees on, or shoulder right onto Piper Niven's knees. This is where crushing her down. This is where Piper Niven tried to go for a cannonball. Luckily, what's her name? Tia Hale moved right out of the way. This is where Tia Hale jumped right onto Piper Niven. So I go for the Kimura lock like she usually do. She made everybody tap in the pass with that move, like whether it was Gigi Dolan or Tiffany Stratton. Even Lola Vice. Lola Vice there. Which, speaking of her, we're going to talk about her up next, which I thought was a match first, but I forgot they were after the Tia Hale and JC Jane versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. This is where we lock into Kimura, but Piper Niven was not buying it. This is where she tried to go for a power slam, but she instantly countered it into a DDT onto Piper Niven getting DDT by Tia Hale. Both women was on the ground. JC Jane was like, "Come on, tag me in, Tia, come on." This is where Piper Niven tags in Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green pulls Tia Hale. This is where she tried to go for that flying, swinging elbow drop that Dolph Ziggler used to do, but luckily Tia Hale got out of the way right on time. This is where Tia Hale rolled right under Chelsea Green's legs, like when she was trying to walk right towards Tia, but she tags in. This is where she tags in JC Jane. This is where she started hitting clotheslines back and forth right onto Chelsea Green, and also hits the right hand to Piper Niven. Hits a knife-edge stop, a right hand, and a step up insecurity onto the chair. That's what Piper Niven tried to help her tag partner, try to splash onto the JCJ, but she dodged out of the way smartly, and she landed right onto Chelsea Green, body to body first. And this is where JC Jane did her scream, and this is where she did the cannonball right onto Tia Hale. This is where she slides her down. This is where she pins Chelsea, but she only got a 1. She only got a 2, but Chelsea Green kicks out at 2.9. This is where she tried to go for the discus right hand, but Chelsea Green struck her with a right hand of her own. This is where she tried to go for the unprettier running bulldog maneuver that you usually do. But this is where JC Jane pushed her out of the push her and counter out of the move. Chelsea Green runs right into the right corner of the ropes. This is where she tried to clothesline JC Jane, but she ducks right on the side, hits an exploder suplex, right? Or not exploder suplex, an exploder spine buster, more like, onto the Chelsea Green. This is where she rolled her up. She tried to go for a 1, tried to go for a 2. This is where Piper Niven stops her right on time. Tia Hale goes right onto a Hurricane Rana maneuver, but gets caught into a power bomb by Piper Niven, into an electric chair facebuster drop maneuver, sit out facebuster, hit with Tia Hale hitting her face in the process. Here's where JC Jane hits a bicycle knee strike right onto Piper, but this is where JC Jane hits a super kick on the Piper. This is where she tried to go for. This is where Chelsea Green tried to go for a super kick on her. She ducks out of the way right on time. Tried to go for a super kick onto the Chelsea Green, but Chelsea Green grabs onto her leg, try to hit her this is where Chelsea Green twists her leg around. This is where she tried to go for Jane tried to go for a striking forearm, but when she hit Chelsea Green, like she also gets hit by hit by Chelsea Green as well. They both hit their faces with their respective forearms. This is where both women try to do pump kicks on each other, but they both fall and hit each other once again onto the maneuver. This is where both women were down. Fans were chanting NXT. This is where Andre Chase was trying to do some support port slaps for JCJ and get back to get back in the match. This is where Duke Hudson tried to distract the referee, like trying to. This is where Duke Hudson tries to distract the referee and trying to help JC Jane out, like when she took an advantage of it. Try grabbing the NXT Tag Team Championship. This is where Andre Chase saw this happening. He was like, "Nope, you're not going to do this. Like, I didn't cheat when I won this championship, so you're not going to cheat when y'all win y'all Tag Team Championship." This is where JC Jane was like, "Are you serious right now? Like, we don't have time for this. Like, it's already bad enough you screwed my friend Thea over for the NXT Women's Championship. Like, you're not going to do that for the Women's Tag Team Championships." And he's like, "No, like, trust me, you got this." That's why Chelsea Green came out of nowhere, got her from behind, go for the Unpredator Bulldog finisher maneuver. And she got the 1, 2, 3. Still the NXT, still the Women's Tag Team Championship. To retain their dominant range champion. Mostly it's because of Piper Niven, but this time Chelsea Green got the pinfall, and it's all because of JC Jane was distracted with Andre Chase in the NXT Tag Team Championships. Yeah, like some told me JC's not happy, especially at Andre, because he kind of cost them a chance to be in the Women's Tag Team Champion. But anyways, they tried to check on JC Jang. She didn't look very happy, like I said, like I predicted, of course. This is where Andre Chase was like, "Look, sorry, like, Bob, I was trying to help you out so you won't make a bad decision." But this is where Albert Fire was dressed as Chucky, and Isla Dawn was dressed up as as Chucky's girlfriend, with the wedding dress and the black jacket, which every woman in the roster was challenging for. But now it looked like it was Albert Fire and Isla Dawn because they were on a shot at the Women's Tag Team Championship on Friday, possibly on the upcoming Friday Night SmackDown episode. Anyway, Chelsea Green's like, "You want to shout our tag titles? Like, so be it. But look, still gonna be Tag Team Championship." And this is where, before she could finish her statement, this is where the wheels start spinning, like into a stipulation of the decision that they're making. It was like, and this is where it spooked them out. This is where it spooked Chelsea Green out, like saying. And you're like, "Okay, like, we're gonna see you when we're not near nothing haunted." Like, and this is where Albert Fire and Isla Dawn's like, "We're gonna be taking those championships. See you when we take those championships." This is where Brian Pillman Jr., or should I say Lexus King, was in he's like, "Welcome to my first interview, Mackenzie." And he's like, and this is where Mackenzie Mitchell was like, "Last week on NXT debut, like, congratulations on that, by the way. Not interested in you as far as you're making a huge impact for your career here in WWE." And he's like, "Mackenzie, I'm always pleased about my performance, and And I'm also very pleased that Alexis King is about to find the person that I am and see everybody has an opinion on me. But don't get me wrong, I'm used to it. I come through the territory of becoming a star. Is that but for one thing's for sure, this is my life. And then I'm start doing things my way. And just that impact I have had, I was waiting to see what I could do next. For better yet, I already done. Start laughing in a maniacal manner. He's like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Alexis? And this is where he's like, Mackenzie, you're gonna have to figure it out for yourself when I show you exactly what I mean when I'm in the ring once again. And this is where Mackenzie thanks what's his name, Alexis King for the interview. He was like, being an interview. All right, back. He was like, all right, back to you guys, like the Booker and her husband, Vic Joseph. And this is where he tried to make Vic Joseph jealous. He was like, where you going, pretty lady, to what's her name, to Mackenzie Mitchell. He was saying, like, we're just having some good chemistry. To have a candy. And then he was like, and this is where Mackenzie Mitchell's like, I'm good. Like, thanks, but no thanks. And then this is where he started eating some candy on his candy bowl. And this is what Booker T's like, I'm liking this Alexis King kid already. And Vic Joseph's like, hey, he may be talented and impressive, but you better watch out because, like, you better get away from my wife or else, like, I'm gonna be starting to be the next NXT star if he's not careful. But anyways, that's where we finally get the breakout tournament. The breakout tournament match, which it starts right here with Kalani Jordan taking on Lola Vice. And I guess 1% of my prediction was not absolutely correct, but my whole entire prediction on who's gonna win the breakouts tournament from round 1 to round 2 to the semifinal, to the final, the second round, which was the semifinals, which the finals was tonight. But I guess this was not 100%. This was not 100% correct on my prediction because we're gonna talk about that right here. We got Kalani Jordan, the finalists, I should say, Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice into this match. Oh dang! Because she gotta go for a roundhouse kick. Kalani Jordan grabs onto her leg. This is where she hits a cartwheel wheel kick right onto the head. This is where This is where Lola Vice was grabbing onto her jaw because she kicked it so hard. This is where Kalani Jordan was ready to do a comeback move, hitting axe handles right onto to Lola Vice. This is where she hits a runaway axe handle attack onto her. Did a kick up like Shawn Michaels, which he's now the writer for NXT. But she does a rolling leg drop right onto what's her name right onto Lola Vice, but you only get a 2.9 count. This is where she tried to go for the playmaker, or should I say the or ozone, like when she had her leg right onto Lola Vice's head, trying to grab onto her arm and flip her back. This is where she tried to go for a roundhouse. This is where Lola Vice tried to go for a frontward roundhouse kick right onto Kalani Jordan's head, but she ducks out of it. But she counters the back. I mean, not counters, but she comes back and hit her with a back roundhouse kick right onto Kalani Jordan's head. This is where not her head, her midsection, like boom, and then it brings her down. She's trying to go for a pin, but she got a 2.7 count. Well, I should say 2.9, but it looks like they're a couple of inches away from hitting the ground. So I'll say 2.7, 2.8 count. This is where Lola Vice was like, oh, come on. Like, I had her there. This is where she Irish whips Kalani Jordan right onto the bottom to the bottom, not bottom, to the right corner side of the ropes. This is where Kalani Jordan do a rolling flip springboard maneuver, turns back, try to go for, and goes for the that reverse STO facebuster maneuver onto Kalani Jordan, like Sami Zayn used to do. But this is where Kalani Jordan was getting ready to do the playmaker, she successfully connects her signature move, because the first time attempt doesn't work, it's gonna be a guaranteed that's gonna work the second time. And then this is where she rolls right up, getting ready to go up to the top rope. This is where she tried to go for the splits, splits moonsault, but this is where Elektra Lopez tried to distract her, saying "You can't do this," and then she super kicks her off with Elektra Lopez dressed up as a black fallen angel, with the black dress, in the black halo, she's one of the fallen angels that's turned into demons. But anyway, this is where she tried to do the maneuver but Lola Vice moved right out of the way, right on time. I think Elektra Lopez's distraction worked. This is where Lola Vice take advantage, hits the goodnight spinning super kick. She got the 1, 2, 3, and she was the breakout tournament winner with Elektra Lopez celebrating where I was like, oh, but I thought Kalani Jordan would win because she's the underdog. She's thought to be an underdog breakout star even without winning the tournament. And I thought this will help benefit her of getting her pushed sooner rather than later, of becoming NXT Women's Champion in the near future, and be like her real life boyfriend, which he's on WWE's Black and Yellow and White brand, which he is the former NXT champion Carmelo Hayes, him. But yeah, I was like, what? Kalani Jordan's dating Kalani Jordan, she's dating Carmelo Hayes. I did not know that. I heard this from an article that I read online, but this was when I wasn't doing the SNA podcast video. But this was very interesting. I was like, wow, they didn't mention anything about this, not on the show, not on any news article sites and in wrestling, nowhere else, only on their resumes of them being as wrestlers in general. But anyways, This is where she would get a breakout superstar, so she get an opportunity for the NXT Women's Championship anytime she wants, if it's a Money in the Bank contract. But anyways, that's where we get to the end of the vignette with the metaphor trying to hunt down the Heritage Cup trophy into the haunted house. With what's the name? Only the left one that was the only one left that was free into the haunted house to retrieve his Heritage Cup trophy. But he was like, "Oh my God, it's so dark in here." Until he went straight forward into this room. He was like, "Yes, my baby is here." Yeah, I need to find the rest of my friends. Not the rest of my friends. I need to find my friends right now and tell them I got them back here. He's like, "She's here." Yeah. She's here. What did they do to you? Especially Akira Tozawa. What do you do? Did you miss me? Right. If it was his wife that was kidnapped and not his trophy. And speaking of his Heritage trophy, yesterday, what a funny coincidence. Yesterday, I was playing my Rise mode with my character Super Ninja Austin, with my made up character on the video game, of course, dressed up as Super Ninja. I mean not dressed up. My character Super Ninja Austin, I should say. My own character Super Ninja Austin looked like this, except I was wearing a white shirt rather than a black shirt that says SNA the Assassin. I challenged him for the Heritage Cup trophy and also for the NXT UK Championship, which I won both of them, with my manager being there holding the Heritage Cup trophy, and I was the NXT UK champion. Which that was very funny. This is where he gave his Heritage Cup trophy a kiss to it. But yeah, I'm trying to make in the future. I'm trying to about to make some content. If I can know how to make that by recording and playing the games like of WWE 2K23 and any other games that I have on my Xbox, of course. Make sure y'all check that out in the future when I figure that out. But anyway, this is where Noam Dar's like, yeah, I finally found you. Like, I told y'all we're gonna take that away from Tadawa. Like, now I'm gonna get you every time if anybody try to take you from me and kidnap you. But we're gonna have whatever happens you get, like we are the champion. Freedom! And this is where there's echoing around the haunted house. This is where that short zombie face guy was back with that tall pumpkin face zombie and that nun witch, like the one with the nun witch. And this was like, oh, you guys, you're such a prankster. I was like, no, like those are the guys that kidnapped your friends, like Akira Tozawa did to your Heritage Cup trophy. Now you're gonna have to go friend hunting, like both of your three friends, Lash Legend, what's her name? Kiara Jackson, Lash Legend, and Ora Menza. He's like, and then he was like, and then this was the monsters was looking at him. And he's like, oh, well, I was like, wait, I thought he was gonna, I was like, no, I guess I was wrong because this is where Noam Dar's like, whatever Akira Tozawa is paying you, I'll pay double, maybe even triples, and plus, and he was like, and I will help you out with anything that you ask for. I'll even help your families at home, and then if you excuse me, I just need to get going and find my friends. This is where Akira Tozawa came from behind. As soon as the lightning strikes, like right into the direction. This is where Akira Tozawa came in. He snatched back the Heritage Cup trophy. And then this is where he's like, okay, I'm done. Like, no, what are you doing to me, Tozawa? Why you can take my baby away from me? He was like, please let me go. Like, I don't want to die. Like, I don't want to be kidnapped. No, please. And he's like, this is what all I want is this trophy. Like it's heavy, and this is where it's like, no. And then this is when Noam Dar's like, no way. Like, you can't. And it's not even part of your heritage. And this is where kids are like, all right, you get him. And this is where Noam Dar was like, no, please do. Like when the kids out asked for a match against Noam Dar, and this was like, no way, like this is not your level. And this was like, all right, like get him booked. And he's like, all right, you got your match. Like you have your match for the Heritage Cup trophy. Like please just let me go freely. Noam Dar like like yes, like. And he's like, see you next week, which they're going to have another big event for NXT, which will be for the Heritage Cup trophy, along with the returning in-ring Von Wagner against Braun Breaker, and the return of the new NXT Women's Champion, Lyra Valkyria. And then, yeah, everything's going to happen on that night. Here's when Noam Dar started laughing, like, ha, like, and I finally got my trophy. This is where the zombies basically nearly ate him alive. This is where when Akira Tozawa told him to go and finish him off and devour him. This is how the vignette ended. Like if they just all got their lives eaten away by these monstrous zombies into the haunted house. But they're gonna be back next week, like because this is all just part of a Halloween skit because today was Halloween. So of course they're gonna have their fun and. Doing vignettes like this and being in Halloween stipulated matches. And what do you think about this review so far? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. We're gonna get ready to talk about the main event of the evening, which was Carmelo Hayes trying to go title hunting in this match against Ilya Dragunov for the NXT Championship, trying to win back his title that he lost to back last month at NXT, not Battleground. It was NXT. the pay-per-view was? No Mercy. That's what it was. It was No Mercy. But anyways, we're going to talk about that right here, right now, with the new NXT champion taking on the A champ. And man, like, we finally we sort of kind of got an answer from who attacked Trick Williams, and that was towards the end of the match. And y'all gonna see exactly what I mean by that, because we're gonna start off with this main event with the Mad Dragon taking on the A champ. And we're gonna get to the middle part of the match, like, even though I should be talking about the whole getting the detail, but this is where because the match was kind of long, so I'm just gonna cut it half shortly. This is where Ilya Dragunov hits a back to gut slam right face first with Carmelo Hayes, landed into the canvas. This is where Ilya Dragunov went back up. This is where he's trying to go for a German suplex onto Carmelo Hayes. But this is where Carmelo Hayes was hanging on to Ilya Dragunov's arm, elbowed him right to the back, like under the jaw. This is where he tried to go for a springboard DDT with him going backwards, which he kind of botched it, but he improvised by just going for the DDT. But this is where because he missed that shot, and Booker T pointed that out when he was in commentary with Vic Joseph. This is where Ilya Dragunov twists Carmelo Hayes' arm, hits a frontward roundhouse kick right into the head of Carmelo Hayes, dropping. Then Ilya Dragunov didn't miss. And I was like, he's been missing like most of his move, Carmelo Hayes, and it looks like he was kind of guilty of something, but we're going to get to that in just a sec. But anyway, this is where Ilya Dragunov hits a knee strike right onto the head of the A-champ, or the former A-champ, I should say. This is where Ilya Dragunov was going for a power bomb. Hits him straight down to the ground. This is where he tried to pin him down to the mat, but he only got a 2.999 count, like so close of putting away him. Went to this devastating powerbomb I have ever seen in all professional wrestling. This is where Ilya Dragunov, he tried to run right towards Carmelo Hayes, but he gets pump kicked right onto the face by the A-champ, the former A-champ. This is where Carmelo Hayes was getting back to conscious, getting back his conscious. And this is where he gets clothesline. And it's where he eats up a big clothesline from Ilya Dragunov, attacking Melo right into the face, right into the head, I should say. This is where he pins Melo. This is where referee count to 1, referee count to 2, but kicks out at 2.8.9 seconds. This is where Ilya Dragunov hits when he hits that clothesline. This is where Ilya Dragunov picks Carmelo Hayes back up. This is where he hits knees right to the head of Carmelo Hayes. Started continuously doing knees right to the head, knee strikes, then elbow strikes after that, like about 3 in a row. This is where Carmelo Hayes smack onto his arm. But this is where Ilya Dragunov didn't really phase it at all. This is where he hits a leg swinging rebound right into the bottom corner ropes and going for the rebound clothesline. This is where Carmelo Hayes hits a flying head scissor swinging face buster maneuver right onto Ilya Dragunov. This is where he pins Ilya Dragunov. This is where he gets the 1-2 .99999999999 0.3 0.1 away from being 3. This is where Carmelo Hayes you gotta be serious. You cannot be more serious than you already are. This is where Carmelo Hayes try to go to the top right corner of the top rope, going for the nothing but net leg drop onto the Mad Dragon. Ilya Dragunov grabs onto Carmelo Hayes, hits a half hip toss right off the top rope. Ilya Dragunov was getting ready to hit the torpedo headbutt right onto the former A champ, but instead he just went right on the top rope, tried to go for that thunderous forearm strike right onto the head of Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes grabbed him by one left hand, and squeezing his neck, like saying, like, no, you don't. Hit the striking right hand and a step up into gear right onto Dragunov. This is where Booker T was like, wow, like, did he really just do that? Right off the top rope. This is where Carmelo Hayes drags up. This is where he tried to drag in Ilya Dragunov up to the apron because he have a move in mind. This is where he does the opposite maneuver of Johnny Gargano's signature move, which that's the springboard tornado DDT. Instead of doing the inside, though, this is where he springboard outside the ring, landed on the hardest part of the ring apron. The fans were like, holy sugar honey iced tea, and they weren't saying sugar honey iced tea, but they said what's the initial of sugar honey iced tea? There was like holy SHIT, which the guys onto the production truck was muting it out of them saying holy S into the arena, all over the arena, like, because they do not want, because they're trying to make this more of a family friendly show, like, and that's not family friendly. What they're saying, that's the S word, but yeah, this is where Vic Joseph, like, holy, like, what they said. I was like, yeah, that was really bad. Like, if I didn't expect this storyline what I was expecting it was going to end up like, I would have expected that Carmelo Hayes was going to beat Ilya Dragunov with that move alone. If I didn't know what's the story into this rivalry. But anyways, this is where he throws Ilya Dragunov back into the ring. This is where he tried to go for the nothing but net leg drop like he normally does. But when he tried to do that maneuver to nothing but but it looked like he was gonna going for nothing but net. But Ilya Dragunov was on the ground. My apologies for recapping it incorrectly. This is where he hits the try to go for the nothing but frog splash right onto Ilya Dragunov. This is where the referee counted 1, the referee counted to 2, but he kicks out this right like a 0.1 second away from being 3, like 0.1 second, like before his hand touched the mat, like he was down to the ground. It was like this, like he was down to the mat, like when he tried to count the 3, like 2.999999999, 0.1, like 0.1 away from being 3. Like a negative 0.1 away from being 3, I should say, when he hit the nothing but net on Ilya Dragunov, like when he kicked out of that maneuver. I was like, wow. No, not nothing but net, nothing but frog splash. Fans were very entertained in this match. They were chanting NXT, this is awesome, which it was, because this was totally the match of the night. Like, I can see why. I can think of 2 reasons why this was the main event of tonight's Night 2 Halloween Havoc event. Like the same as the Lyra Valkyria taking on a Becky Lynch match for the NXT Women's Championship. This is where Carmelo Hayes picks Ilya Dragunov back up, hits a striking right hand right onto Ilya. This is where he picks him back up, but Ilya Dragunov hits a single axe handle right to the back. This is where one half was cheering for Ilya Dragunov, while the other half was cheering for Melo. They're like, yay, 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 yay. And this is where Carmelo Hayes was coming back with the axe handle war, like hitting nothing but axe handle. This is where Ilya Dragunov hits his most devastating clothesline, like of his moveset. Hits a running, standing senton right onto Carmelo Hayes. This is where he hits a freak accident Uranagi right onto Carmelo Hayes. But this is where Carmelo Hayes somehow kicks out of 2.2 seconds into this maneuver. This is where but anyway, this is where Ilya Dragunov tried to go for a tip for a suplex. Carmelo Hayes instantly started countering, putting his leg up, the tie around his left leg ties around onto Ilya Dragunov's left leg, trying to lock down from preventing him from doing the suplex. This is where Ilya Dragunov. This is where Carmelo Hayes tried to flip out, try to do a sliced bread slam maneuver, but this is where Ilya Dragunov caught him in the red room lock into like a half Nelson lock. But this is where he hits a knife edge chop right onto the back of Carmelo Hayes. This is where he tried to go up and try to hit a side swinging, try to go for his signature move, like because that is gonna be a guarantee. Like if he was gonna do the maneuver onto Carmelo Hayes, but it looks like that didn't seem like to be the case. I think he was double cursed for doing that signature move because Carmelo Hayes instantly did a bicycle knee strike right onto Ilya Dragunov, right onto his head, and he landed onto the outside. This is where Carmelo Hayes. This is where he landed onto the outside, on the hardest part of the ring, to the ring apron. This is where Carmelo Hayes tried to go for it again, like on the springboard DDT right onto the apron. But this is where Ilya Dragunov caught him before he could do the DDT, which was a smart move because he tried to do the maneuver. This is where he was still standing, hanging on to Carmelo Hayes, and it looked like somebody didn't tell Carmelo Hayes, like if you try to quickly do it a second attempt, like it's not gonna be a guaranteed, like for a warning, but this is where Ilya Dragunov came in, counters his maneuver, try to go for a fireman's carry, and this is what made me start thinking that he's gonna do my signature move, which of course is the Assassin Valley Driver, which I was begging him, like when I was watching this match, I was like, please do my signature move, Ilya, just to give me a treat that's better than a trick or treat candy, But this is where he. But anyways, this is where he does grant my wish and does the Death Valley Driver right off the ring, hardest part of the ring, the ring apron, which that's the most dominating move in all the sports entertainment, especially when you're doing it off the hardest part of the ring, which is the ring apron. But anyways, this is where Ilya Dragunov fell back right onto the ring side, into the right side. Carmelo Hayes was screaming in absolute horror and agony, more than a serial killer killing his victim. Like he was screaming so much, like, oh my God, like it's hard. And this is very painful than getting stabbed. And then this is where Booker T said, I bet he's bleeding internally from that hit with that maneuver. But anyways, this is where Ilya Dragunov was taking stuff off on the timekeepers area, onto the announce table. This is where Ilya Dragunov puts Carmelo Hayes right onto the announce table. He was getting ready to hit his trying to hit his Mad Dragon forearm strike or elbow strike right onto Carmelo Hayes. He was like, all rise of the Mad Dragon. And he tried to go. And this is where he does do the maneuver. Does it right with his right forearm or elbow, hitting his face, landed right onto, and out on the announce table just collapsed all over the area into the right side of the ringside area. This is where I believe the guys in the production forgot to mute it out the first time when the fans started chanting "Holy Sugar Honey Iced Tea," which they wasn't saying "Sugar Honey Iced Tea." They were when they start saying the "Holy S" chants. This is where they finally got to do it the second time. They start chanting "Holy S," "Holy," like when they were chanting that. And this is where Ilya Dragunov was was down onto the ground. This is where he tried to get back up slowly but surely. This is where he throws Carmelo Hayes into the corner. This is where he was getting ready to do his torpedo headbutt maneuver onto the A-champ. This is where he was getting ready to do the striking forearm right onto the head of Carmelo Hayes. But when we tried to do it to Carmelo Hayes got back up, trying to go for the face breaker, but Ilya Dragunov grabs onto his legs right on time. This is where he tried to overpower him. He picks him up into a fireman's carry. This is where he tried to go for. You go for a snake eye fireman's carry. Carmelo Hayes flips out of it, pushes Ilya Dragunov face first, right onto Tina the turnbuckle. This is where Carmelo Hayes successfully did his finishing move, his secondary finishing move, which is the step up face breaker onto Ilya Dragunov, because you know the statistic. Finally, somebody must have told him that, like, if you successfully do the maneuver if you try to execute your signature finishing maneuver at first, even if it doesn't successfully hit, then you're going to get it the second time, guaranteed. And then this is where Ilya Dragunov landed right on top of Carmelo Hayes. Somehow strikingly hits him with the forearm right into the head. Like, the third time was a charm, like the first time was. Like, and then this is where he went to the pin to Carmelo Hayes, but the referee counted to 1, the referee counted to 2, but this is where Carmelo Hayes kicks out of it, like, right in the last second of 2.99999999999 point, with a negative 0.1 second away from being 3. But anyway, Booker T's like, no, he didn't. He did not kick out. And this was a very close match. It looked like if I didn't know what the story was, and for you other wrestling fans and wrestling journalists and all you guys in the wrestling internet community, y'all, like, if y'all didn't know the story behind this match, or not behind this match, I should say, if y'all don't know the story, like what's next for after this match, you probably wouldn't. I would say, because just by looking at the storylines, like what's going on with WWE, of course, on this NXT match, y'all probably would say this could be anybody's game. But I'll say that's how they were doing this. Like they were making it look like it could be anybody could walk out as NXT champion, of course. But this is where Ilya Dragunov tried to apply one more time, because the fourth time I don't know unless you're triple lucky, but. Because it probably could, you're probably gonna move out of the way for your second attempt of doing the strike of the forearm to his face. But if that was the case, Carmelo Hayes caught him for the second time, intercepted him into a flying step up face breaker maneuver, which has been formerly known as the Code Breaker when Jericho was around in the World Wrestling Entertainment. But also he was double lucky of hitting that finishing move. Like, I'm surprised it wasn't, but unfortunately, it wasn't lucky enough to put away the Mad Dragon and reclaim his NXT championship. This is where he tried to go up on the top rope to do nothing but net. This is where Trick Williams came out there distracting Carmelo Hayes. Like, oh no, why is Trick out here? Like, and then this is where Trick Williams started mugging the hell out of Carmelo Hayes, like he knew exactly what Carmelo Hayes did, and possibly he could be the one that attacked him. That possibly be the one that attacked him when it was supposed to be a fatal four-way match with them two again, and also Baron Corbin and Dijak. And I was like, I guess my suspicions are correct. Unfortunately, it is. And this is where the fans are chanting, pull that trick. This is where Ilya Dragunov reminded him he was in that match. Hits him with a striking right hand. Hit him with a top rope superplex. This is where This is where Ilya Dragunov was getting ready to do the Mad Dragon torpedo headbutt right onto the Moscow torpedo headbutt right onto Carmelo Hayes. This is where he's getting ready to put Carmelo Hayes fully away with a pinfall. He got the 1-2-3. He retained his NXT championship, and he walked out as the victor, which I kind of predicted because I was like, whoever attacked Trick Williams is probably going to be revealed at this Night 2's NXT match, Night 2's NXT match, NXT Championship match, I should say, of Halloween Havoc, of NXT Halloween Havoc for the NXT Championship, and then that's exactly what happened. This is where before he can fully enter back at the backstage area, this is where he gets brutally assaulted by Baron Corbin. He's like, "See, I told you that I'm gonna be ready for you, and I'm gonna be your next NXT champion, and it's gonna and your short reign as the rising Mad Dragon is gonna be over." And that's how NXT ended. And I'll say this was a really good show. And then also that segment with the Metaphor and Akira Tozawa inside the haunted house with those monstrous zombies and getting the Metaphor, 3/4 of the Metaphor getting kidnapped, and by the three each zombie-like monsters, and take them out of the room and into the room where they probably was going to eat them, along with Noam Dar accepting Akira Tozawa's challenge. That was the only way for him to give back his NXT Heritage Cup trophy. And also we got Lola Vice taking on Kalani Jordan, and even tag team action were the women's tag team championship with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven taking on JC Jane and Thea Hale. That was pretty entertaining, and showing Andre Chase was trying to help him by not cheating, but I think he was not being a help, even though he was trying to play dishonest. But he should perhaps try to let JC Jane take an advantage of an opportunity that you have of successfully of gaining the NXT championship. I mean, not NXT championship. I mean, the women's tag team championships. We also had the Creed brothers in a really good opener, tables, ladders, and scares tag team match against Los Lotharios and much more. Yeah. And which one was your favorite match of the night? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. And that's the end of my video. I would give it a 4.5. A 4.5 stars out of the whole 5. And how y'all will rate tonight's Night 2 edition of the Halloween Havoc NXT show? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin. This was the 98th edition of the SNA podcast. This is where the 98th episode of the SNA podcast, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, make sure to comment down below, subscribe, click the bell notification, hit that thumbs up button, share with your friends all over social media, and refer them to me, and to make this channel even more bigger, and make it more bigger and more successful, and more bigger and successful and more popular now. And try to have everybody watching all around the world. Everybody will be talking about yours truly, about what's on today's video, or tomorrow, or next week, or any time of the day when I'm doing my podcast, whether if it's for wrestling or for other sports like football, baseball, basketball, or even animation, which the World Series was also on. I know who won. I need to see what's the results on that, with the Texas Rangers taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hopefully you guys watch that. Watch that for those baseball fans out there. And also, I'm going to be doing my episode 99 and my 100th episode of the SNA podcast. And hope you guys will be watching. Like, we're going to be talking about the wrestling news on the 99th episode, which will be the wrestling news part 28. and the AEW Dynamite review, part 12, which will be my 100th episode. Yeah, I can't believe I got up to 100 episodes in nearly 3 months. That's because I've been keep doing them back to back every single day. And then please be the continuous viewers, that the continuous loyal viewers that of mine of watching these videos. And then who knows, like, I'll probably be very successful at this, and I'll probably give out prizes, like what if they're cash prizes or very expensive prizes when I start getting bigger and start getting offers from sponsors and whatnot. And just for you guys, like, if y'all comment down below or be the first one to comment down, or the one, or if you comment something that's something of my favorite, like a favorite comment or a favorite hobby topic, or even an object or whatever, like I'm probably will reward you with some kind of a prize, of course, I should say. I'm trying to do something big for a 100 episode, but it looks like I have to save it if I get up to like 200 or 300 or 400 or 500 or even 1,000th episode. But only time will tell for that. But hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys tomorrow, like when I make my video. Hopefully y'all had a great Halloween, and I want to wish y'all all a very happy Halloween, and hopefully y'all had a great Halloween. Hopefully it continues tonight, and I'm gonna show you my full costume of Kenny Omega as soon as I put my boots back on, and I'll set you up right here. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, just I'll put back on my boots. Okay, put you up here so you can see a full figure of me dressed as Kenny Omega. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Which I also got the Triple B right here. Oh, and what you thought about my Kenny Omega costume? Y'all let me comment down below and see what y'all's opinion on the matter of the AEW with my AEW championship. Yeah, I know it's a toy, but this is the thing I can afford at the moment until I get the real thing of the replica. But yeah, just comment down below what you think about my costume, what you thought about my review for the Halloween Havoc Night 2 edition of NXT tonight, and also hopefully you guys had a great Halloween, and then who you guys were dressed up as for on this lovely Hallow's Eve. But comment also that down in the comments below, especially if you were a wrestler, please do. And I'll see you all tomorrow night when I'm making my wrestling video. And I would say the elite leader of the custom-made Kenny Omega costume, Super Ninja Austin, the assassin, is out. Triple B. Bye, everyone.